Electro-Titans dominated day one of the World Championship. Today we're going to break down every Electro-Titan attack and show how you can use them as well. The World Championship started yesterday and one attack stood clear of the rest. In fact, this attack was used 8 times yesterday out of the possible 30 attacks, and that was Electro-Titan Ground Spam. So you can see the army comp here, some interesting pet combinations. Now the army comp and the pets will change a bit dependent on the base, but one thing stays the same throughout. We've got two or three Electro-Titans in the core of the base with the Barb King and the Warden, and these are going to do so much work together, it's quite simply ridiculous. Now, unfortunately, we're watching this from the broadcast, so I can't zoom it in any more than it is currently. I wish I could for you guys, because watching it from this zoomed out is a little bit painful, but you can zoom in if you're on mobile, and if you're on not on mobile, well, good luck watching what's happening. I do hope you watch, though, because I think this attack strategy can be used by everyone. It's not too mechanically difficult, and Electro-Titans are so hard to kill at the moment, and if you've got the Earthquake Boots on the King, you can open the base anyway. So the Warden ability here, we go through the Town Hall Poison into a Rage Tower, and look at the value in this Rage Tower. So many defenses, but we hung on to the King ability as late as possible, and look at the damage done to all these major defenses in the core of the base. They've all been taken down whilst essentially doing no damage, and the thing about this attack and all the attacks you're going to see today is it's done on hard mode, which means there's a hero equipment level caps. So the Spiky Ball can only be level 21, and the Earthquake Boots are only level 15. So if you've got those a bit more upgraded than this, you're going to get even better results. The Royal Champions helping finish off the base here, and look at how quickly this was 3-starred on hard mode. And that was another thing about this attack. It's not only effective, it not only overkills bases, it does it in about 90 seconds, and you can do it too. What was even more impressive was that was their first attack of the World Championship on stage. In fact, their first 4 attacks of the World Championship on the stage, that is Synchronic, were all this Ground Titan spam. It is so strong, so usable, and I think you can use it as well, because I see no reason that the success of this attack strategy in hard mode can't transfer to the normal mode of the game as well. And this hit here, I think, is the best sign of how strong this attack strategy is. So yet again, we've got an Ice Golem with the Queen on the bottom side. Every attack will either have an Ice Golem or a Golem to help protect the Queen for a little bit. We got the Royal Champion with the Siege Barracks on the top side, and look at this. So we got the Titans and King in the center, but Mark here pops the Warden ability early to ensure that his King ability doesn't go off, because we desperately need that King ability in the core. Yes, it would be better to have the Eternal Tome in the core than not, but we need to keep the King alive, because look at the value the King gets right now. Ridiculous. So much value, such an awesome combination, the Spiky Ball and the Earthquake Boots. But I want to really focus on the second half of this attack here, because he doesn't have access to the Town Hall, but he's got one trick up his sleeve, and it's called the Raged Yak. Have a look at this here. So the Yak hits the wall and takes like 90% of the health of the wall, and that's why you've got to run the Yak with this attack strategy. It helps the Titans, and if it's got the healers on it and the healing tome as well, it's going to stay healthy throughout the battle. But look at this. Every single Titan's not only still alive, but full health. Went through the core of the base there like it's nothing, and that's why this attack strategy is ridiculous, because Titans haven't gotten nerfs all year. They've gotten so many hit points, and bases, simply put, cannot take them down if the walls aren't there. But what about if you don't like using healers? Well, you can use druids instead. Because this attack strategy is so fast, you're going to get a lot of value out of druids too, and Philip here decides to bring the druids instead of the healers. Now have a look at this. Because the Town Hall's on the outside of the base, and you'll see them do this a few times with this army, when the Town Hall's on the outside, use your Queen to get the Town Hall. So we got the Golem in front of the Queen this time to get that extra tanking, even a Rage spell on the Queen, because she's not only going to set an elite funnel, but if the Town Hall Poison does nothing in the battle, I mean, there's not really a lot you can do to stop this attack strategy. So once the Titans start taking a fair bit of damage, that's when we put the Druids down, no earlier, no later. And the right side of the funnel is still the exact same. Siege Barracks with the Royal Champion, setting a beautiful funnel. We pop the Warden ability nice and early. Gonna freeze that single Inferno, really can't afford it to lock on to the King. Worth noting, the Diggy's being used here instead of the Yak, because clearly Philip didn't think he needed to go through the walls because he was going to jump and then use the earthquake boots like this. And I mean, it's so wrecked. So wrecked. Already overkill. Now, the third druid is used with the royal champion. That's helping the royal champion and the fox, so beautifully done from it. But yeah, two druids was apparently enough to get through the core of the base here. Keep in mind, druids will likely do more healing because yes, they don't splash, but they're going to hit 4 targets at once, whereas healers are never guaranteed to hit anything more than 1 target. In fact, they're not guaranteed to hit anything more than just the warden if they feel like it. But yet again, such a quick 3-star. So you can use it with healers, you can use it without, completely up to you on what you think is stronger. I think the healers are stronger personally, but you can't go wrong with Titans in this meta. How about another hit with no healers? And yet again, we're going to see 3 druids coming in. So essentially, they're both pretty interchangeable. Pick what you want. If you're not going to be as quick as Synchronic, which is likely because Synchronic's pretty fast with this attack strategy, then I'd recommend the healers. You probably just have to bring a couple of Cocoa Balloons, but they're bringing balloons anyway here, even despite using druids. So the druids only come down when needed. Yet again, we got the queen on the top side. The queen's got the jelly yet again, so doesn't have to deal with all the trash and is going to get to the eagle artillery as quickly as possible. Then the royal champion and siege barracks on the top side yet again. Now, the king is desperately low on hit points here, but thankfully the druids are just keeping him alive because we're going to need that king ability to open up all the walls you see in a second. So king ability should go off now, and look at that. Opens just about everything. Now, doesn't open the monolith here, but that's what we got the royal champion for. The royal champion gonna take that down nice and quickly, and look at that, the healing tome, healing all our troops up. Queen on the left side with the healer puppet and the mirror clone, and yeah, it's so strong, isn't it? Yet again, we're 1 minute in, and the base is already 3-starred. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to take anything away from Synchronic here. Their entries have been really good with the attack strategy, and on top of that, like, the execution of the spells and when to use all the hero abilities is fantastic. So, if you haven't really used Titans before, it's not something that you can just spam and you'll probably 3-star straight away. But I don't think it's any more mechanically difficult than, say, Root Riders when we were all figuring out how to use them at the start. So start learning how to use this. It's insane. Another thing I really like about this attack strategy is I believe it works on a wide variety of bases. Now, the only base type we're not seeing today is the double invis bases. Don't really know if it would work on those. Obviously, no one's running that at the World Championship because the Fireball hard counters them. But at the moment, I don't see a lot of double invis bases in the meta. But we've seen it today work on boxes, diamonds. The last attack was an anti-2. And this attack here I love because look at what he's doing here, Philip is doing with the queen. Already used a rage spell with the golem on the queen, and in fact going to use a second rage spell and an invis. So many spells used. In fact, 2 of the 3 rage spells are already used. But we've said this ever since the Titan came into the game. If you set a good funnel for your Titans, you will more often than not 3-star. And the Titans have a beautiful funnel here. The Siege Barracks and the Royal Champions set a good funnel. We're seeing Super Minions come out of the CC. So some of the time it's Valk, some of the time it's Super Minions. Just depends on if the walls will be open where the Siege Barracks deployed, or if you want them to snipe some targets behind the walls. I would recommend Valks if you're in Legends League, and in War it depends on the base. Yet again, Spiky Ball on Earthquake Boots clears out so much of the core of the base. It's quite simply ridiculous. And yeah, the Rocket Spear on the Royal Champion with the Hogs. Now, I would recommend probably not that combination if you ran it in Legends League, but completely up to you, honestly. I mean, I don't think it really matters. You're going to get 3-stars no matter what. 83 seconds for a 3-star on hard mode. And this here is the final attack with the army. Yet again, another diamond base. We've got poison towers on this, and this is something of a meta base that we were seeing in the September Legends League season. So I figured I'd show that this army can work on bases with 3 single infernos as well. Yes, Titans can work against bases with single infernos. That's how you know how strong this army is. Yet again, bring in the Yak. This time we're coming in with the healers. So I think in this video you will have seen 3 druids and 3 healers with the Titans. So pick what is preferred to you. Now that freeze spell is really nice with the balloons to get rid of the air defense, because obviously the Titans can't target that air defense. So you do need to worry about air defenses with your healers, because your Queen isn't going to inside the base. So he's got no ranged units in the core of this base. Valks come out of the CC this time, because the Valks are going to run straight into the core and be part of our Warden ability. Nice rage and invis on the Queen. She's doing awesome work on the top side. We pop the Warden ability through the tough part of the base, and yeah, I mean, the Earthquake boots. I say it every attack, but it is so ridiculously strong, as are the Titans. Now, keep in mind, Titans have way more hit points now than Root Riders. They do a little bit more damage as well. And what I like about Titans over Root Riders is they're not going to go ahead of your King. They target every building same as your King, so all your troops are going to stay really close together, whereas some of the time, the Root Riders go ahead and get in a whole lot of trouble. But that's it for today's video. Showed you 6 attacks with this army. If you'd like to see me use this army in Legends League, let me know down below, but make sure you're watching the World Championship for day 2.